Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
This is the top 50 Christmas movies according to the Tomatometer.
It's a tad too low. Home Alone is in the 40s. Bump that up to the top 10, top 20, man. Home Alone, you kidding me? It's got to be way higher than that.
This movie was so successful and made a huge star out of Macaulay Culkin. I'm surprised that should be in the top 25 for sure. I'm surprised it's down in the low 40s.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
All of the stuff that Home Alone has spawned is the reason why I love it.
While I was very happy to see that Home Alone is on this list at number 46 and is fresh, I was devastated to see that Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, one of the great sequels of our time, was not on this list and is in fact rotten.
Excuse me? How dare you?
Tony, I'm absolutely with you.
The little recorder talk boy thing that he used was not a real toy before that movie, and it was so popular that he started making them.
But Kevin still needs to be slapped in his mouth for calling his mom a dummy. I will never forget that, Kevin McAllister. I would have called my mom a dummy. Cut to the memorial service, me in the casket, the family's all around. The movie would have been 15 minutes.
So because the Christmas list goes across multiple years, we decided to order it by the Adjusted Tomatometer, or Tomatometer as you folks say. It takes into account the number of reviews for each movie, the year of release of that movie, as well as the average Tomatometer score for the films released at the same time as that movie, puts it into a big, meaty algorithm and plops out something that allows you to compare Tomatometer scores across different films, across different decades.
What a good time! That is a Christmas movie!
It is a garbage film. Sorry, mom-in-law.
That's top 5 for me. I watch that all the time. Clark Griswold just trying to provide the perfect Christmas holiday for his family, and he's screwing up left and right.
I'm sorry, the frickin' cousin on whatever he is, the one who's gone psycho now, the Quaid. Yeah, the Quaid. The unsexy Quaid.
I know Alex also hates Randy Quaid, but he's actually pretty good.
But I do like, is it Beverly D'Angelo? Yeah. She's fabulous. She's so beautiful.
What an unsung hero. Oh, God. Having to be the straight man to Chevy Chase, thankless. And then the round robin of Griswold kids.
It was weird how in the vacation movies, their ages would change. Like in one movie, the brother would be older, and the next movie, the sister would be older.
My headcanon is that the Griswolds are cannibals, and they eat their children, and then they get new ones every vacation.
This movie represents Christmas, and it's definitely one of my favorites.
I fucking hate that movie. Can I drop the F-bomb?
Scott hates this movie?
Love Actually is not a good movie.
I love parts of Love Actually.
I hated my life after I watched it, and I wish I could have that time back.
If you don't just love it regardless because of all the mood it inspires, there's something completely wrong with you.
I felt like I was being spoon-fed with my nose held shut, a romantic comedy, one bite after another without being allowed to chew.
God, when he is wrong, he is so wrong about stuff. You're looking at Alan Rickman buying a necklace for not his wife in a store, and it's being wrapped by none other than Rowan Atkinson.
Would you like it gift wrapped?
It's Alan Rickman's wife, Emma Thompson, listening to Joni Mitchell alone because that's the present that she got for Christmas from her husband?
One of the best moments in a Christmas movie ever.
How do you get more human than those moments?
Great Drake and anybody else out there can have their nice little fantasy about Love Actually and what a great Christmas film it is. It's got maybe the worst fat-shaming bit I've ever seen. The end of the movie, dude shows up, I want to marry your daughter. The guy's overjoyed, and then they cut to the chubby daughter. And she's thinking, oh my God, I just won the lottery. And then everybody universally agrees, no, not her. No, she's gonna die alone. I'm talking about the hot one.
It shows stalkerism. It shows unrequited love. It shows abusive love.
It's what love isn't, actually. It's shallow.
I've actually had relationships end because I said that I hated Love Actually. That's how beloved this film is. But you know what? Embrace your taste. You know? That's why they made chocolate vanilla.
That's A Christmas Carol set to Bill Murray. It gets no better than that. Bill Murray, you kidding me? He's a national treasure.
If anyone says that they don't like that movie, can you call me immediately so I can come over here and beat their ass?
A Christmas Carol at 24 and Scrooge at 39 is absolutely ridiculous. Scrooge, way better. Realistic aspect of what Christmas is.
So he's visited by the traditional three ghosts, except that one of them is Carol Kane. She's wearing fairy wings. It's like, yes, just all kinds of yes.
That's some good Murray. Like, man, there are just so many good periods of Murray.
Bill Murray, and probably what I think is one of his best roles. I know they're gonna say like Caddyshack and other things, but I think he's amazing as Frank Cross.
It's got moments that are hilarious. It's got moments that are actually kind of heartfelt.
I sob like a newborn baby when I watch that because it reminds me that you can always change. You can always turn your life around. You can always have remorse for something, and you can always surrender to all the beauty that surrounds us in this world.
It's a good feeling. It's really better than I felt in a long time.
The Ref is awesome.
The Ref is a sharp, acerbic, funny Christmas movie. Dark, really worth seeing. Dennis Leary, just at the height of his powers. It's got a younger Kevin Spacey in it. What do we do? Just forget every movie? I mean, I don't know what to do.
It's a dysfunctional family at Christmas where they argue and yell, and like the kid has like secrets and doesn't want to come home, and he's off at military school. It's amazing.
Why is the Ref higher on this list than Scrooge? Does anybody gather the family around the hearth and the fire? They're like, okay, kids, come on over, bring your friends. It's Christmas Eve. Time to watch the Ref.
I'm all about the real Christmas where grandma, confesses how she never loved grandpa across from the cranberry sauce. That's real Christmas.
It's like Santa, played by Billy Bob Thornton, in a dressing room with Lauren Graham from the Gilmore Girls, and they are just doing it. And it is nasty. And that's Christmas to me.
Marcus, get this kid off me before he pisses on me, all right?
Billy Bob Thornton, yeah, just what a lech.
Not a huge fan of Bad Santa. Gonna let you kids in on a little secret. It's a fine movie, it's funny, but it's just so crude and so crass.
And you need a movie like that on Christmas, the dark and the light, because the holiday season, it is many things to many people. It can be depressing, it can be nerve-wracking, it can be frustrating.
When I see a Christmas film, I want to be uplifted. I want to believe in something. I want to share in the spirit of my fellow person and all. I hope that we can be something better than we are the rest of the year. Or I want to see a German terrorist dropped out of a window. Either one is fine with me for Christmas.
I completely love Batman Returns, and I think that movie stands out for a number of reasons, Penguin soldiers being primary among them.
Danny DeVito is a scary little bugger as that penguin. He's real good. And then you got some Christopher Walken in there, you got Billy D. Williams in there.
Definitely for Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman or Selena Kyle, I think the most iconic Batman villain. No, I can't say that. Equally iconic with Heath and the Joker, but that was such an incredible performance.
The scene where she transforms into Catwoman, her performance is just tour de force, just out of control.
I always have fond memories of Michelle.
Yeah, Hal shares your sentiment. He talked a lot about Michelle.
I'm gonna say that I think Hal and I have different views of why we love Michelle as Catwoman. I think while he might have been, that's a sexy Catwoman, I was like, that's a really well-styled Catwoman.
She is just fierce, just like, Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, damn, Fife Dog. Ooh, all about that Fife life. Just watch that movie, make you want to fife it up.
I love Gremlins. I mean, Gremlins, did well, made like $175 million in 1984. This is a film that, along with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, was responsible for the creation of the PG-13 rating because it was violent. Film stars Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates. Takes place in a very small town. The same setting, by the way, that was used for Hill Valley and Back to the Future. There's a beautiful, very sad scene in the middle of the film when Phoebe Cates is recalling the story about how her father died trying to come down the chimney dressed as Santa Claus.
The worst Christmas story anyone has ever heard on Earth. He was slowly decaying in the chimney. And now back to your regularly scheduled Christmas romp, Gremlins.
Number 23. That's probably a good spot. Gremlins ruined my childhood for like 2 weeks. Came out, I was like, yes, please take me to go see Gremlins. It scared the crap out of me, y'all. I couldn't sleep.
I can't talk about Gremlins without plugging the fact that I'm in the Key and Peele Gremlins 2 sketch. You'll see me. I make a suggestion. We're going around and pitching different Gremlins. I pitch the googly-eyed Gremlin.
That is a top 10 Christmas movie if there ever was one.
Another overrated movie, even though I'm a big fan of Will Ferrell, Elf just didn't cut the mustard for me. And what does cut the mustard even mean?
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself? You know, you're dead inside if you don't like Elf. Why would you have a problem with Elf? For real.
I think it's just one of those things where people really connect with the joy of that character, Buddy. He's so beautiful and innocent and enthusiastic and excited. He's kind of like a kid on Christmas morning, which is, I think, the feeling people want when they want to return to something around Christmas time.
And just the scene where Will Ferrell is singing to him, singing to his father. It's such a mismatch, but it works so well because the chemistry between them is infectious, because they don't belong together, but they do because they really are, literally and figuratively, family. And that's what Christmas is all about.
I love you, I love you, I love you!
This is Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jamie Lee Curtis at the height of their powers. Not just Eddie Murphy and Jonathan Landis in the 1980s. Forces of nature. And Trading Places is so damn funny.
Merry New Year!
Trading Places was just edgy. I remember they were just having a party and, they was just dancing and stuff. They busting in the room, people just naked in there. That's the holidays to me.
What we really get in Trading Places is the first time that we see Eddie Murphy outside of SNL still being just as funny as he was on that show.
Eddie Murphy with the fake legs, and they lifted him up and then he was like, I got legs.
Oh shit, look at this! Man, I can walk, Jesus! Praise Jesus!
He's so funny, but there's a sweetness to it. There is a little tinge of sadness. He is able to convey so much at such a young age in Trading Places. It's an amazing piece of work.
Love this movie. Love this movie. It's rated R, it's gritty. I feel like movies were grittier in the 80s.
It does have one bad moment in it. Dan Aykroyd does wear blackface.
I think the only reason why this one wouldn't be higher on the list is because probably not enough people have seen it. And the reason why I say that is because it's from this Japanese animation director named Satoshi Kon, who did a bunch of really mind-bending sci-fi style movies.
I think people haven't seen it because it's an anime, and the title, Tokyo Godfather, sounds like a crime drama.
But this one is more of like a heartfelt, really genuine kind of a family story. It does have some dark elements to it, but the story of it is generally that these 3 homeless people discover an abandoned baby on Christmas Eve, and their whole mission throughout the night is to return that baby to its mother. One of the other reasons why I specifically have a connection to this movie is that the baby that they find, and one other character that I won't spoil in the movie, is named Kyoko, and that's my grandmother's name also. So, yeah. Aww. Rare Exports is essentially a horror film that kind of takes the Santa and elves myth and turns it into this thing where Santa is actually a demon, and all of the elves are like these old-looking guys who come to people's homes to snatch children and take them to Santa in order to feed him.
Christmas is about heart and family and the experience, your memories, traditions. How can there be any tradition around a movie that no one's ever seen?
I think it's from Finland. It's done really well. The imagery towards the end is really fantastic. The character design is great. I think it's even got some moments that are genuinely frightening. And the ending is just bonkers. So I think it's a really fun watch and kind of a nice bit of counter-programming during the Christmas season.
This is a fallacy. It can't be one of the best Christmas movies if it's not a movie that we're all like, let's get together and watch this. No one's ever said that about rare imports.
My favorite Christmas movie is A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Number 15 on the list. That feels like criminally low for that movie.
That has been on television every year since 1965 when it first aired, and everyone loves it.
I'm a big Peanuts fan. I love Charlie Brown and the gang. Snoopy is my guy.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Man, I love how Snoopy just does his own thing. Like, he's a dog, but he's chilling. His house is lavish. Have you ever seen the inside of Snoopy's doghouse?
I think the key scene in the special is when Linus, he takes the spotlight and he quotes this Bible verse. And as the years go on, I find that scene has become more and more powerful as the world becomes less and less religious. And I'm not a religious person at all. I find it very moving.
It's hard for me to think of 14 movies, Christmas movies, that are better than A Charlie Brown Christmas. And it's not even my number one, so that's kind of crazy.
There's a Lucy out there who gave that special a rotten.
Bastards.
What a lovely fairy tale. What a sad maudlin fairy tale. That period of Tim Burton with Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, just creating these worlds with his own logic and rules, but you are immersed and it makes complete and total sense, even though it's fantastical and wild. Then eventually he made Planet of the Apes.
I didn't know that was a Christmas movie. Like, we went through several different seasons with this guy and this family. Like, Christmas, I mean, it showed up, but it wasn't like the theme of it. Like, are we throwing movies in here where Christmas is mentioned? If that's the case, Lethal Weapon should be on here, because I remember the scene in Lethal Weapon, there was some Christmas decorations in the background.
Why isn't Lethal Weapon on here? Come on, Lethal Weapon. It's a Christmas movie. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of buddy, but it takes place around Christmas. If a movie takes place around Christmas, you're gonna tell me Edward Scissorhands is more of a Christmas movie than Lethal Weapon?
I would say Edward Scissorhands is not a Christmas movie. I mean, it has parts of it that are in Christmas, but it also has parts of it that are like dead summer, and then they go to like talk shows. I would say very much less of that movie is about Christmas. It's just the ice sculptures.
That is the seminal Christmas movie. It's fun, it's got the spirit, it talks to our childhood, it talks to adulthood. It gives us so much that we can relate to.
A Christmas Story is one of the best Christmas movies of all time.
You shoot your eye out. Yo, I didn't see this movie in its entirety until 2000. I just now saw it.
Oh.
A Christmas Story is literally like all that Christmas is right now, which is the capitalist, materialistic focus of children and convincing them that it's Santa Claus. That's really all Christmas is right now.
I get it, the kid wants a BB gun. Is there anything else I need to know about that movie?
Arthur Christmas, which I believe is by Aardman Animation, who are the team behind Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit, etc. And it's really just a really fantastic animated Christmas film that I think is going to be a classic in 10 or so years.
I'm not sure why Arthur Christmas is number 12. It's a fine movie. Santa's got a kid, and the kid's got to save the day. It's adorable. I saw the movie, liked it, immediately forgot about it. And you're telling me Arthur Christmas is better than Scrooged? Is better than Home Alone? Is better than Black Christmas?
Unlike a lot of animated films that are very popular these days, it doesn't rely just on pop culture references, etc. It's got a beautiful amount of heart.
Fine movie should not be looking Die Hard right in the face on any list of Christmas movies.
This debate that has been going on for more than 30 years, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Who cares?
What are we getting so worked up about? It takes place at Christmas? It's an unconventional Christmas film. There. I ended the debate for you.
Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie, and I'm super glad that it's on the list.
I know it's a Christmas movie because it plays Run DMC's A Christmas in Hollis, Queens, which is the best Christmas song ever.
It's a holiday staple, man. Wholesome, good times, so the clean, foul language, the bullet holes, the explosion, the bloody bare feet. What's more Christmas than that?
I do not agree with the ranking at all. It's at number 11. It definitely deserves to be in the top 10, nay, the top 5.
I would put Die Hard at number 2 on my own personal best Christmas movie list.
Tad too low. I think it should be number 1.
I mean, come on. Christmas is not the star of the show here. Let's get that straight. Christmas is a co-star. The star of the show is Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
The reason why that movie's awesome is the music. Yahoo Forest. Everybody knows the songs. That's the best part of it. It's cool. Animation's cute. Boris Karloff's voice is pretty amazing, but it's the music. It's not one scene. It's all of the music, without question. On my personal list, The Apartment, which is number 8, should be number 1.
The Apartment, which stars Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine, won Best Picture in 1960.
The Apartment? Is it a Christmas movie?
It's a movie that takes place at Christmas. It's in that Die Hard region, but it's not necessarily a Santa Claus jingle jingle movie. It's a movie about men that cheat on their wives in an apartment. This is not screaming home for the holidays.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's one of your favorite movies, period.
In general. Yeah, I think it's on Jacqueline's top 5 and also on mine.
I love that movie. I think it's a great holiday film, even though it's kind of sad and twisted.
It kind of builds to this really emotional, sweet crescendo, which I kind of associate those feelings with Christmas.
I saw it in the theaters, cinemas, we would say back home, in 1993 to whatever it was as a kid, and just fell in love instantly. I bought the soundtrack when it came out, and I wore the crap out of that CD, learning every single song word for word, including like the Oogie Boogie one, and all the weird ones with the 3 kids kidnapping the Santa Claus. I just incredibly love that film.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, you're more of a Halloween movie, in my opinion.
You know, it has more of a Halloween vibe. Even though the title is The Nightmare Before Christmas, I feel like it's an October movie.
It's also a Christmas movie, too. The music in this movie is great. The look of the film is great. It is a timeless classic that you could play on Halloween. And, of course, you could also play it on Christmas. It has a lot of humor. It has a big heart. It is such a feel-good movie. And it is a movie that I make a yearly ritual to watch twice.
I think it's bullshit. I don't like it. I don't like the way the movie opens. I don't like that song, Meet Me in St. Louis. I guess I'm a horrible person for not liking a Judy Garland movie. She's a treasure, I get it.
Why does everything old have to be better? I don't like how the top 6 is all just mad. Oh, no disrespect to my mom.
I will take the number 2 film on this list, Meet Me in St. Louis, and put it up against National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation any day.
It's a Wonderful Life is the Citizen Kane of Christmas movies. And like Citizen Kane, it needs to be at the top of that list.
I'll tell you right now, it should be number 1. Look at the message of It's a Wonderful Life. Don't kill yourself. That's a pretty great message. The world will miss you. You are important. You are needed.
It's beautiful. It's Jimmy Stewart. It's like, how could you not love this movie?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched It's a Wonderful Life since the 80s. I know it's on every year, 5 times a day in the month of December, but it's black and white. I'm kind of snobby, man. Black and white. It takes me too long to get into a black and white movie because it's black and white. I get sleepy immediately.
It's just kind of a feel-good movie, and it's been around for decades. It's a classic. I don't think there is anyone who would argue against that being the top Christmas movie.
A Christmas Story is better, me personally.
No, it should be number one. It's number one. Everybody just settle down.
We get enough hate mail as it is, so It's a Wonderful Life being number one is perfect.
I think the Tomatometer speaks the truth again.
Before there was Tom Hanks, there was a fine young man named Jimmy Stewart who set out to save America.
It is probably the best performance James Stewart ever gave on camera. It really shows his range when he is sitting at the bar after he's lost the money for the bank and is going to lose everything else, and he's sitting there praying for God, please give me strength, show me the way.
It's a Wonderful Life is more of the fantasy version of what Christmas used to be, maybe. It's about family and being together and angels and all that. Very few people think about that now.
To everyone who thinks maybe another film should be number one, I say this: go back and watch it again, and you will see how great this movie truly is. It's not just one of the best Christmas movies of all time, it is one of the best movies of all time, period.
What's your favorite pick? Give us your top 5. What shouldn't be on here? What should be on here? What's too high? What's too low? We want to dig deep with you and see where you stand on it.
Wait a minute. That's an idea. What do you think?